Are we live? It looks like we're live. What's going on, guys? All right, getting everything kicked off Q&A style. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got a handful of questions from you beautiful people. Thank you guys for submitting your questions already in the form. You guys don't have any questions, that's cool. You can just hang out with me. We can talk about marketing strategies, funnels, prospecting, ad strategies, high ticket sales, whatever you guys want to talk about. So let me go ahead and find this. I'm going to put the question form in the group. Whoops, that's not the one I'm looking for. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to grab this URL here. So if you guys are watching live, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm going to post that in the chat. Okay, cool. We're there. All right. So that is in the chat now. What you guys will see is there's going to be a link to a question form. If you guys have questions, if you're watching the replay or if you're watching the live and you have questions and you're not able to put those in the comments into the chat, then just go ahead and submit that form. That form, what that allows us to do is just get a little bit more context of what you're doing and who you are, and we can give you the best answers to questions. So thanks so much for being here, guys. This is our weekly Q&A where we talk about anything and everything lead generation, turning those leads into appointments and turning those appointments into closed deals. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and put those in the comments. And if I have time toward the end, I will be sure to get to those. So thank you guys again for being here. Let me pull up the questions that have been submitted. There's a lot of them, so I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Now, while we're waiting for people to show up, I have a question for you guys. You see my eyes? What color are my eyes? Because me and my wife were kind of having this argument. She says it's one color. I think they're another color. So let me know in the comments if you guys on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, let me know in the comments what color my eyes are, because I'm pretty sure I know what color they are. She says they're another color, but let me know what you guys think. Okay, cool. All right, we got a couple people in here. Let's go ahead and answer the first question. So first question is, they're in holistic health coaching. What's the best way to reach out and win sales through organic marketing? They have a lot to offer. Been doing health certifications for 4 years. I have so much to offer my clients. I want to be clear. It's hard to be clear on my marketing and messaging and what I provide. When I talk one-on-one with the prospects, it's much easier. How can I help? I really need some quick wins and clients. Is the organic marketing strategy when I add friends and go into Facebook group really one of the best options? How do I get more prospects without any testimonials? You know what? That's a great question. I don't know who submitted because I would say that's a great question, Bob, but I don't know because in our form it's completely anonymous. So if you guys like that, just go ahead and submit that form and we'll be sure to answer any of your other questions. So you don't really have to say, oh, this is Bob Jones, right? So anyway, what is the best way without prospects or testimonials? Really what you want to look at is, like, I think he's on the right track, this gentleman. He's having a hard time getting early wins in sales. When you're talking about organic prospecting, so he's asking, reaching out to Facebook groups, is that the right way? Yes, that is the right way. Now, there are a lot of people that may say that this doesn't work or have tried things like that in the past and it doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work is but not necessarily because of the strategy, but because of the tactic. Now, usually your tactics are off, but the strategy is pretty sound. Like reaching out to people on Facebook groups and Instagram and LinkedIn, that's not a bad strategy. It's usually the people who don't perform well have bad tactics. Now, the best thing that you want to do is you think about if, anytime that you've dated someone, or like, for example, me and my wife, when I first had my date with her, I didn't go right up to her and said, hey, would you marry me and have 2 kids? Right? That would kind of be like that she would probably get creepy vibes if you know what I'm saying, right? So you kind of have to warm them up, right? So with your spouse or your wife or your husband or like whatever it is, you went on a couple of dates And then you started spending more time together. You started developing relationship. And then you kind of took one step to another step. So when you're doing outbound prospecting, the biggest thing that you want to do is just reach out and say, "Hey, it's nice to connect." Or one actually really funny one that we use, have used in the past, and a lot of our clients have had success with, something along the lines of, "Hey, I saw that you were in the marketing space. I wanted to reach out to you. If you don't want to, I'd love to connect with you. If you don't want to connect, feel free to send me your best insult." Right? So kind of taking them off guard. They probably get messages all day long from people trying to connect and trying to necessarily like spam them in their messages, but try to add in a little humor and try to disarm them a little bit. Right? And they're like, "Yeah, awesome, happy to connect." And then, "Hey, the reason why I reached out was because of X, Y, and Z. We actually have, the reason why I reached out is because you're a marketing agency, and we've actually done some really good work with marketing agencies in the past. And I thought about you. Here's a quick story or a quick example of one of our case studies. Now we're helping our clients do X, Y, and Z. Focus it more on the transformation, not the mechanisms, right? So we don't help our clients with email marketing. We don't help our clients with lead generation. We help our clients get 6 to 7 appointments on their calendar, right? So think about what the transformation is, not the mechanism. And then pitch it like that. And it's like, "Hey, would you be open, for a discussion?" Right. So have little micro commitments and stages. Don't go straight for the pitch. Don't go straight for the sale right on the first message. You want to make sure that they even have the problem that you are solving for them before you go straight into the pitch, into the sale. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense, or if you guys have any questions. We are live right now, so put those into the comments. Let me go ahead and get to the next question that we have. All right, give me 2 seconds. Okay, that just got deleted. So thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. So just give me 1 second while I get to the page where all the questions will pull up. So just give me one moment. All right. Right. Again, I don't know if any of you guys have just joined us. Me and my wife are having a debate on what color my eyes are. I think I pretty much know what color they are. So put what color you think they are in the comments down below so that we can settle this. Okay, cool. I got this pulled back up. All right, cool. All right, here we go. Someone says, "What webcam do you use?" So I have a couple. I have a Sony A6000. I have a Canon Rebel T6i, and then I have the Sony ZV-1. So there you go. That's that answer to that question. Let's see. I'm working on systems to get targeted leads with full record of 150 fields per lead with intent data. I will use these in my marketing to generate appointments. I don't really see a question. Generating leads. And I don't know the industry. So guys, if you can, with the questions that you guys have, just let us know your industry, where you're at in your business, and the specific question as detailed as possible. Let's see. Another gentleman says, the niche I'm in, dental, Facebook ads aren't generating any patients for clients. I've tried all sorts of creative ad sets, deals, etc. Very low turnout. I've lost clients. Usually what it comes to, so I used to own a marketing agency in the healthcare space. Usually what it comes down to is like what happens after the lead is generated. We talk to this all the time about this specific problem with our clients. Like it's not enough to just generate the lead. That's a step in the process. The step in the process. Let me actually. I'm not sure if I can share my screen on this, but there's 4 steps that you need to have in any sales process. You need to generate the lead. That lead needs to turn into an appointment. That appointment needs to turn into like a show, and that person needs to pay. Right. So in between every single one of these steps are like KPIs and optimizations that you want to hit. Right. So from lead to booked appointment, 30, 40% or above is really good. From appointment to show, so that's like your show up rate. You want that to be like 70%. From show to close, you want your close rate to be around 20%. Now, given that there's 4 steps there, just because you generated a lead on Facebook and you sent them to the doctor's office doesn't mean that they're going to book an appointment, doesn't mean that they're going to show up, doesn't mean that they're going to close. So you need to put in systems and processes to hit every single one of these steps, right? So sounds like the gentleman who asked this question has the lead generation down. But what he doesn't have down is the processes to turn that lead into an appointment. What he also doesn't have down is the processes to turn that appointment into a show, right? So a couple of things that you need to do, and I know physician offices, doctor's offices, dentists, chiropractors, whatever, however you want to spin it, they're notorious. The front desk is notoriously bad for not following up with people, right? So whenever you do send them the lead, they don't call back. They don't, follow up like they should. And what you're going to find is that at the end of the month, they're going to be like, hey, I sent 150 leads over to you. How many deals have you closed? I haven't seen anything. I haven't got any patients. And then you lose the client. Now, what happens is when you look at the data, you find that they haven't followed up with anybody. You find that they don't have the systems, the automations, the text messages, and the email sequences to get those people to actually book an appointment. And then they don't have the process to actually get them to show up, right? That's essentially that's where Conversionly is hanging their hat. My company is helping people turn more of their leads into appointments so that they can get people to show up to their sales calls and then get them to do that like a 70% show up rate. And then hopefully they can close the deal if they're good at sales. And then, oh, by the way, we have sales training too. So I hope that answers a couple of quick tidbits that you can use to optimize these. Call the lead within 5 minutes. Make sure that you're doing it as the agency, because they're not going to be the ones that are, pulling through with that. Make sure that you're following up at least 6 or 7 times. I know it sounds like a lot, but make sure you have that in place. Have a text message and an email sequence that goes out to them like automatically so that no leads fall through the cracks. Making sure that you have confirmation of them showing up to the appointment before the appointment happens, having multiple 48-hour, 24-hour, 2-hour reminders that they're going to show up to their appointment. Sometimes in your industry, what happens is people will put down a refundable deposit of like $20 or $7 or $50, and then that increases drastically the show rate. So I hope that has helped you with the question that you have. Let's go. If you guys are watching live, thank you guys for being here. If you guys are watching the replay, thank you for being here as well. If you have any questions, put those in the comments. I'll try to get to those later on. If I have, we have probably about 20 or 30 people that have asked questions from the form. I put the form in Facebook, in our Facebook group. If you guys are watching on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or anywhere like that, go to my profile and you'll see a link to the Facebook group. Join the Facebook group, and then I'm going to answer some questions from the comments in live in the Facebook group. So if you guys don't get answers to your questions, there is a link to the form in the comment inside of the Facebook group for you guys to submit your questions so that we can answer that. Cool. Let's see. Submit to the form. Okay, cool. So automation, getting Google reviews for local businesses, not getting people to book appointments with the scenario described. Some watch the personalized video, but then don't book. All right, I think we have. Okay, cool. So he has a whole process: cold email, verify details, and then he sends them a video. It's not a bad process. Going over listing updates. Okay, cool. And then hop on a Zoom call with a free trial. Problem: making it more congruent and natural. It feels like too big to hop on. I'm showing how we upgrade their listing in the directory. Okay, so this is a SEO company. I think he's doing more organic messaging. Okay, cool. So this is what I would do. I would send out a cold email, kind of very similar to what you're doing right now, and then verify their details and all that good stuff. That's a good step, because what that does is that gets them to reply. the first message, the first goal of their first email or your message is to get them to reply back to you, because it creates consistency. Once they reply back to you, then okay, cool. You know that they're game to have a conversation. Then once they have that conversation, then you can give them a listing. And then I probably would say, oh, like at the end, oh, by the way, I could, let me talk to you about our offer. We help make sure that you get in the top 3 of Google within 90 days guaranteed, or you don't pay. Right. So if you had a really good like hook or offer like that, that would probably increase the amount of people that are getting on the video. Right. You kind of walk them through what's wrong with their site or what's wrong with their listings, and walk them through, what you would probably do to improve that. Probably keep it, don't give them a detailed list of what you would do. Try to keep it as much curiosity based as possible, right? So inject as much curiosity so that they want to hop on the call to learn about what they could do, right? And then you add in that guarantee, or you add in that offer of like, hey, let me walk you through like how we're doing, other, and if you have case studies, you can send case study links. That really helps. And then that would probably increase the amount of people that you're getting on the calls. And then if you really do have an offer like that, that would be kind of like be a no-brainer offer to sign up for if they're in the market for that. Okay. All right, cool. So we got a couple minutes here. We got about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go over to the Facebook group and look at the comments. If you guys want to go ahead and put a question really quick and see if I can get to it, that'd be cool. Let's see. Daryl Kelly. I think I was answering. Let's see. Justin will likely articulate this better, but in my experience, I find that lead ads generate more leads, but their intent to buy is lower. So it makes more effort on them to close. So varies personalization, which is better. Alternative. Okay, cool. I think I saw, okay. Yeah, so I think the question is lead ads better than a funnel? I think that's the question, right? So, okay, cool. Yeah, we get this question all the time. So one thing that you want to think about is where you're at in your business and how many people you have on your calendar. If you don't have at least 6 appointments on your calendar per day, then we kind of talk about friction. So you want to remove as much friction as possible from your sales process, right? So when you think about Facebook lead forms versus like an opt-in funnel, if the opt-in funnel has a lot more friction because you're taking them off Facebook, usually sending them to like a squeeze page or a landing page where you're getting their information, then goes to like a VSL or a booking page, and then they have to book a time. That's a lot of extra steps, and that's a lot of friction. Now, when you have more friction, you have higher quality because the intent is there. There's a higher intent because they've gone through those extra steps to figure out what it is that you guys offer or what they want to learn from you. And at that point, it's a higher quality lead. They usually have a higher chance to show up to the call and a higher chance to close. Now, if you're not on 6 calls every single day, then you may want to go toward the lower volume and then try to dial in those lead forms to try to get as high quality as possible before you switch over to like a funnel with a VSL and stuff like that, right? Now, one thing about switching over to the funnel, what I would probably do is I would go straight to ad. If you were going off of lead forms, I would go to ad or go from ad to like a page where they enter in their information and then book a time, right? So that's essentially like the lead form itself, because the lead form is just like an opt-in page where they're entering in their information, and then it goes to a thank you page where they can book a time. So you replicate that off of Facebook, which would increase the friction just a little bit, which would increase the intent, which would increase the quality, right? So another step from that is going to opt-in page, then adding in like a VSL or information page with a button on there where once they click that button, then they go to a booking page. And then the next step to add more friction would be to add an application on that booking page of like, hey, how much money are you making? What stage out are you in your business? What are you struggling with? Like asking them more questions. And then from the application, you'll be able to really see if that a high quality lead or not. Do I need to cancel this appointment? Do they need more qualification? Is this a one call? Is this a two call close? That's probably where you would kind of lean toward if you were leveling up the levels of friction inside of the business. So let's go to another question. I hope that makes sense. If you want me to clarify that anymore, just feel free to put that into the comments, and I'll be hanging around a little bit inside of the group afterwards. So again, if you guys are on YouTube, if you guys are on Instagram, if you guys are on TikTok, wherever we're streaming, there's going to be a link somewhere in my profile. Click that link, get over to our Facebook group. We have a ton of free trainings that we can send you for whatever you're struggling with. And the Facebook group is where we go live so that you can get answers to your questions that you're asking. And once you click that link, that's where the link is for the form that you can fill out to get your answers submitted ahead of time. So you make sure you get those answers answered before anybody else. So being an agency, what's your thought on using lead form ads rather than a funnel? Oh, perfect. I guess we had the same question on with two people. So, all right, guys, that wraps up today's Q&A. If you guys have any other questions, there is a form down below. Submit that form. I'll be sure to get to you guys next week. If you guys I would appreciate it if you let me know what you think. What color are my eyes? Because me and my wife, we have a little bit of and not an argument, but she thinks they're one color. I think they're another color. So if you guys can help me solve this, you can see it's pretty clear what color they are. But if you can, just put in the comments below what you think, what color you think my eyes are. So I will see you guys all in the Facebook group. I will see you guys on the next live. Be on the lookout inside of the Facebook group because I think we have another training going out this week that you guys aren't going to want to miss. And all right, team. So I think we're going to go ahead and stop this one. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you have any questions, submit those inside of that form. See you guys. Hope you guys have a great week. Have a great weekend. Adios.